Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted deeply? Maybe it was a friend who shared your secret, a partner who broke a vow, or even a family member who let you down. Betrayal shakes the foundation of our hearts. But here's the good news. Trust can be rebuilt. It's not easy, but with God's help, it's possible. Let's explore this journey together. Hello everyone, my name is Steph and welcome to my channel. Today's topic is one that hits close to home for so many of us. Betrayal, whether it's in our friendship, relationship, or even within our family. Betrayal leaves us questioning how to move forward. As Christians, we know that forgiveness is at the core of our faith, but rebuilding trust, that's a whole different story. So, how do we rebuild trust when the wound of betrayal is still fresh? Let's talk about the steps, the healing, and how we can trust again with God's guidance. Understanding the nature of betrayal. Betrayal is a deep wound. It's not just about broken promises. It goes much deeper, cutting at the core of our relationships and shaking the very foundation of trust. Betrayal can come in many forms: infidelity in a marriage, a friend gossiping about something you confided in, or even a colleague taking credit for your work. Think of someone who has been married for years. One day, they discover their spouse has been unfaithful. The immediate feeling is shock, followed by anger and deep sadness. In that moment, everything feels shattered, as if the life they built was a lie. That is the weight of betrayal. It affects not only your relationship with others, but with yourself. You begin to wonder, how did I not see this coming? Can I ever trust again? But for us as believers, betrayal also tests our faith of God's plans for our life. We start questioning, why did God allow this to happen? But as difficult as it is, betrayal also offers an opportunity to grow. It can push us towards spiritual maturity, teaching us to rely not on people, but on God's steadfast love. Now, how do we overcome the feeling of being betrayed? The first step is forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing or forgetting the betrayal. It's about releasing the power that hurt has over us. When we talk about forgiveness, you actually can forgive even if the offender has not yet tendered an apology. Like I said, it is about releasing the power that hurt has over us. In the Bible, Ephesians 4:32 tells us, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave us. This is crucial because it reminds us that just as we have been forgiven, we are called to extend that same grace. It says, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. So, the forgiveness that God gave us was in spite of our sins. A lot of us had not even come to the realization that we were sinners, that we are sinners. And yet, He made provisions of forgiveness available for us and forgave us in advance. So as Christians, we are godlike. That's how we're supposed to process forgiveness. When the betrayal and the hurt comes, you work on yourself and release forgiveness even before the offender asks for them. I know it's not as easy as it sounds. The process of forgiveness, it takes time. But the most important thing you need to know is that it is a choice and not a feeling. So when you forgive someone, it doesn't excuse how you feel at that time. It takes time to really let go. But you start by releasing forgiveness. It doesn't mean forgetting. as I said, or excusing the behavior. Let's paint a scenario. A friend who shared the private secret you entrusted with them, which made you feel humiliated and betrayed. Initially, the natural reaction is to cut them off and hold on to the anger. Everyone would do that. But weeks go by. You realize the anger is consuming you. It begins to affect your mood, your ability to trust others. Even when the person comes around, what happens to you? Your heart squeezes. You feel this great pain and bitterness. Whenever you see that person, or anyone associated with that person, or any other that reminds you of that person, you see what that kind of hurt can cause. It even affects your relationship with God. Choosing to forgive them, even if you're not ready to be friends again, frees you from carrying that burden. So, forgiveness is about you finding peace, not necessarily about restoring the relationship instantly. Forgiveness is for you. Now, how do one rebuild trust in all of this? Rebuilding trust is a process, it's not an event. So, here's the truth. You cannot rush trust. It's built over time through consistent actions. Proverbs tells us to trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding. It's important because it reminds us that while we work to rebuild trust with others, our ultimate trust must be in God, who never, I repeat, never fails. Imagine a couple where one partner lied about something significant. Okay, perhaps financial issues or addictions. The betrayal is out in the open and they've both decided to work on their relationship. But here is where many people get it wrong. They expect trust to be restored immediately, like spontaneous. But in reality, trust is like a bridge or a ladder that was destroyed in the betrayal and needs to be rebuilt, brick by brick, step by step. It requires patience, honesty, and consistency on both sides. Each tiny little step, whether it's by keeping promises, being transparent, or showing empathy, truly builds the bridge. A lot of people just expect trust to be suddenly, to happen suddenly. Like when their spouse or partner asks them, "Where have you been? Can I see your phone?" Or stumps around their phone, the pick offense, like, "Oh, why do you want to know where I've been? You don't trust me anymore? Don't you trust me anymore because I committed one offense?" Oh yeah, they do not trust you. You broke the bridge. And the responsibility is on you to rebuild that trust, not the other way around. If you want to be trusted, you have to prove yourself trustworthy. You have to bear yourself open, be transparent. You're the one that's supposed to tell your spouse of your itinerary for the day. I'm going to be here at this time. Hey, this person called me. I checked up on this person. I ate this, that. You know, those are steps to help the other person involved rebuild trust in you. And you're not doing this from a malicious place. You're doing this because you aim to actually help rebuild that bridge, that broken trust. So it's very important that being open about activities, communications, sharing passwords if agreed upon, and checking in regularly helps foster transparency, which in return helps to build that bridge layer by layer. So we're going to talk more about open and honest communication now. Rebuilding trust requires being vulnerable, and vulnerability requires communication. There is no way to restore trust without having those difficult conversations. And it's about both parties being willing to hear each other's pain and to understand the root cause of the betrayal. Here, honesty cannot be overemphasized. there is no point trying to shield your ego as something. Here, you come vulnerable. Say it as it is. Kindly express your feelings respectfully, without blames. You need to be able to have healthy conversations, actively listen, be empathetic, and remember the use of the I statement to convey emotions. Oh, I feel bad when you turn off your phone without me saying or completing my sentence, or rather, completing my I love you sentence. You get? Just use the I statement. Consider the situation of a business partner who made a critical decision behind your back. Now, to move forward, both of you need to sit down and have honest, open conversations. The betrayed partner needs to express how that decision made them feel. Were you disrespected, undermined, or even fearful for the business? The offending partner, in turn, must explain why they made that choice. Just maybe there was pressure, or they thought they were doing what was best, in the best interest of the company. But only by layering everything out in the open can they begin to work at rebuilding trust, which starts from coming from a place of understanding. So having open communication is a foundation of the whole restoration process. A lot of people feel that not having that conversation, or rather rehashing or replaying the hurt, will make the other partner feel hurt the more. So therefore, they play the avoidance game and just say, oh yeah, I know I hurt you, I'm really sorry. And it doesn't work that way. You have to be vocal. Why did you break the trust? Why did you take the decision? You have to be able to express the reason for your betrayal, or to make it light in your actions, right? Then you can progress into setting boundaries for a new beginning. Boundaries are essential for healing. They protect you and the person who hurt you. Setting boundaries doesn't mean shutting people out. It's about creating a safe place where trust can grow again. As Christians, we're taught to forgive, but the Bible also teaches us to be wise in our relationships. This is the point where you define acceptable behaviors, and establish consequences for breaking trust again. If it comes to renegotiating your relationships, then here's the stage where you do that. Imagine a situation where someone has lied over and over again, and you've decided to forgive them, but you need time to heal. Setting boundaries might look like limiting the amount of personal information you share with them, maybe for a while, or perhaps you do not engage in the same level of intimacy or closeness immediately. These boundaries and punishment, they are actually safeguards for both of you to navigate the new, more honest relationship. So when the offending party has been able to prove some level of credibility, then those boundaries can be reassessed. In time, the boundaries can be adjusted when trust has been rebuilt. In the case of a marital relationship, this is where rebuilding intimacy is very important. This is where it comes into play. Do you need time to plan a regular date night to help you reconnect emotionally and physically? Do you want to engage in new activities together? As married couples, do you want to practice physical affection? If by doing all of this, you still think you're able to break even, then to our final point, I'll suggest you seek professional help. Couples therapy wouldn't be a bad idea. Godly counseling wouldn't be a bad idea as well. This will help facilitate difficult conversations. Remember, it takes two. So if you think you want to go ahead to spend your time and money for professional talk, then both parties need to be on the table. Hey, but ready to seek professional help together. And in doing so, you should be also ready to have those difficult conversations. And if there are challenges in your communications, the professional will help address those. A better communication skill will be established between both of you. And also address underlying issues. If you have stayed to this point of this video, please drop a comment. We'll be happy to read from you. Like and share this video to your loved ones and frenemies. Now, in conclusion, rebuilding trust after betrayal is one of the hardest things we can do. But with God's help, it is not impossible. Remember, forgiveness is the very first step. But trust takes time. Forgiveness happens for your sake, for you. Communication, patience, and clear boundaries are key. As you walk through this journey, know that God is working with you, guiding you to a place of peace and restoration. Let's continue to lean on Him as we rebuild our relationships, one step at a time. See you in the next video, and bye for now.